days and welcome to this week's Extreme Set Mind series with the striped ridden Lee Tunny Ware. He's looking very sailorish today. It's been fantastic. We had a little deep dive before we come on, and we do have these amazing conversations before we get on the show sometimes. And trust me, you want to be part of that community. Listen, you have to have a pretty deep pocket to be part of this man's world because he is very unique. But Lee, I have a fantastic kind of subject matter more this week than anything else, okay? And that is,
Okay.
there's a lot of emphasis right now and put into, the effort that a business owner needs to what is claimed to be successful by incorporating LinkedIn as part of your community or part of your day to day. Now,
Mm.
like most things, it can become, I'm going to say, an addiction rather than a purpose. And I'm seeing LinkedIn become a kind of posh version of Facebook in some sense. And it is growing. There's a lot of importance on it. But I want to ask the question is, really? Is LinkedIn really that essential to being successful in business?
Yes and no. I think you can be successful without any social media. So many people did it before social media, before websites. So, however, if you're in the influencer space, no.
Oh, wow, I see that now.
How can you be an influencer if you haven't got a following? Now, having followers that don't follow, that means you're not an influencer. So, having followers and them following you, totally different model. So yeah, in some ways, I think some content out there is very much like Facebook, um, and I get it that sometimes people want to let you in on their world, so it creates a vibe, a rapport, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I think if people are following you, then it's genuine
Hmm.
because otherwise you've got that divide between business and your personal life where influencers are not on about sort of the glorified, I don't know, what's the word for it? Hollywood style influencer where you're a raving fan and you'll buy everything that has their brand on it and whatever. I'm not on about that type because I think that's more a medication than it is an influence. I
Hmm.
think in the business world, which is what LinkedIn is, so where LinkedIn's totally different to say Instagram or Facebook. But I think people have come from the Instagram and Facebook world, realised because other people have said LinkedIn's the place to be. And I think they brought the Instagram and Facebook type marketing communication to social media or LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.
And so then you're starting to see it look like a bit like Facebook, which I think the LinkedIn is addressing because you don't get the reach. If the content.
Do you think that LinkedIn is becoming now? I'm going to share. So I have about
Yeah,
14,000
yeah,
connections, and the majority of them are between first and second
yeah.
connections. But I see that it's almost like YouTube now, where if you want to be a YouTuber, you have to be a YouTuber, not a hobbyist that does videos. Simple as that. To be a YouTuber and to have gain finances from the channel, you actually have to think like a
Mm,
YouTuber, not
mm.
somebody that does a video and puts a video up. It's very different. Do you think that to actually, if I want to get the full range of my 14,000 claim connections,
Mm.
then that effectively I'd need to be a full-time LinkedIner?
Well, no, I don't think so. I think that's one way of looking at it. I think what the bit possibly you may have missed or others have missed is that so many people are using it. The days before all those people come on, yeah, I've been on LinkedIn for years.
Me too.
Yeah, and I think you don't need. It depends why you're on it. See, LinkedIn isn't a bit like if you're monetizing your channel on YouTube, then you're producing content to make revenue from it, whether it's YouTube, TikTok, or Vimeo or the like. So that's your intention for doing it. And I think a lot of people are in that market, nothing wrong with it. But to be in that market, I mean, if you look at Mr. Beast on YouTube, Mr. Beast is probably one of the most wealthiest influencer or one of the wealthiest, well, billions from basically running a YouTube channel.
Mhm.
Um, And then because he's done it, so many other people want to do it. Do they want to do it, or do they want the money that he's had from doing it? So I think people being focused on what they do, because the average person doesn't need millions of sales. And I think this is where I think the mistake is. A lot of people have cross-pollinated the TV world, that's in the Hollywood world, the click and order world, and the bricks and mortar world. And I think they haven't separated. And then you've got the social media world. So going on Facebook, initially Facebook or MySpace, which was predating Facebook, was to be social. It's called social media, which means it's social, which means in a roundabout way it's personal. That's what social is, see? It's personal. You talk about the weather, you talk about what the kids have done, you show your new outfit, show you, I don't know, your new suit, you show your new haircut, your new nails, you show all that, and it's social. And along with that is, I've got my nails done, or I've got my haircut today because I've got a very important meeting on Friday or tomorrow, and Roz and I are going here, there, and everywhere, whatever. And it's social. So you're sort of trying to show your personal side of you. You're not trying to show, you're showing your personal side because it's social media. But then what's happened is the people have realised, through being personal, I can make money.
Okay.
And now it hasn't social anymore. It's actually a marketing tool. So if you're utilising it as social media, then what does that mean? It means your content should be a variation. Should be some content to grow your channel, some content to connect with your channel, some content to educate your channel, some content to give insights to your channel. A lot of people confuse insights with education. You should know who you're communicating to. Have you got, like in your case, 14,000 of specific avatar, or have you got an organic 14,000, like a bit like Skittles thrown all around everywhere, and all you do is market to the green ones, but the yellow ones have got to put up your content, and they're not interested. So and whether it's a social media channel and you're out there as I don't know, an influencer, a marketer, and they know that, and the reason they're following you is because that's the space they're in. They want to know more about sales, or they want to know more about AI, and whatever your niche is, and that's what you communicate to. When it's social media, it's quite organic because it has no strategy. So when you see a lot of people utilising social media, so it's a bit like Facebook, which in some ways it is, in LinkedIn, is they're organically using it, or they're narcissistically pretending to be organic to market you.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah,
that's huge.
Where if it's, and this is the other bit, if you're really an influencer, then your content's nothing to do with you. It's everything to do with them. It should be, as in your followers, your fans, the people that are getting something from you. How does your content make their life better, more successful? Or is it that your content's only a headline, a good story with a call to action, and come to my event? If there's nothing there that gives value, or there's nothing there that if you looked at it, say you were going from Brighton to Edinburgh by train, let's say, for example, there's certain stops you've got to make along the way. So you can't go straight from Brighton to Edinburgh. You're going to have to most likely change at Victoria. I'm guessing, never gone on the train. I'm just using that as an example. When you change it at Victoria, they're going to tell you the stops along the way, and you might need to change at another junction. On social media, in following an influencer, you're probably going to have a mix. You're going to have some that know you personally, and some that have come across you because of your content. If your content doesn't speak to them, doesn't aid them, doesn't support them, or even worse, that you put one really good post up, and then they go onto your channel, whether it's TikTok, YouTube, or LinkedIn, Facebook, and they go onto your channel and they look, and that's the only good post, then they're not going to follow you. What was their reason for following you in the first place? And too many people have got 14,000. I mean, you could have a good living out of, if you were a marketer, with probably 200 people. It depends. This is where the click and order bit is. one to many, yeah, a message to millions, yeah, and a payment message to millions, that's fine. But you can't have a message to millions if you've got 14,000 followers. And out of the 14,000 followers, if you break it down to 1,000, 10 people see your post, because then you've got the algorithm. See, the algorithm, you might have 1,000 people and it only gets seen by 10 people.
Do you
And that's
think
the algorithm.
yeah, and you're right. The algorithm actually is a nuisance, but also very clever and needed. Do you think though that LinkedIn, and specifically talking about LinkedIn and nothing else, that due to its size now, its nature, and the range of what it's being used for, that it's actually harder to promote your business now through LinkedIn, harder to become recognized through LinkedIn. And the great that it needs a greater investment of your schedule each week for a lesser of a return now.
Well, yes and no. I think if you were in it from the beginning and were committed to it, as in and you were utilising it, LinkedIn would be one of my main platforms. So I've got Twitter. I mean, I've got about 20,000 followers on Twitter, or X, as they call it now. And going back 12, 14 years. So I've had that many followers, say, on X. LinkedIn initially was a recruitment, yeah?
Okay.
But when you went to events or different like networking events, let's say in my case, I can only speak from my experience. There's a part on there where you could turn your Bluetooth on or turn on, and you could connect with everybody in the room. So you could connect with like 500 people or 5,000 all at once with LinkedIn in a specific target market. Yeah. And we'd all at the same event traveled all around the country, all from different countries, to go to this event, which meant that event was our interest. So it's a bit like, where do you find vegans? I mean, when they eat out, do you find them at a steakhouse? So you're not going to find a vegan at a steakhouse, not unless they're there to be nice to support one of your friends, because they don't want to be rude, but they won't eat any of the menu. You won't find a vegetarian in a steakhouse that's chosen to go there. And people don't realise that with content. You can put all the content out in the world you want, but if it's for you, that's you like doing up your bathroom, that's you preparing your dinner, and then expecting everybody else to eat the same thing.
Wow.
You doing your bathroom up and everybody going, oh, I want my bathroom like this. If you're an influencer, I think, is somebody that thinks about their target audience, understands the pains, trials, and tribulations that they're going through, gives them free content, good content, at the right time at where they are, or gives them a good insight where they go, oh, my God, oh, and they get it. That's when they become a follower. Yeah. Not a follower like a sheep, yeah, because that's the problem. I think, if I'm totally honest, if you really want it core, there's too many followers that other people are following.
Oh, wow.
And so it's sheep meeting sheep, and the ones that's out there, they've read a few books and they go, oh, yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get a website, I'm going to do a funnel, I'm going to do this. But they haven't got a real core message. They've got nothing in their life that they can go, this is how I can help you. And what they're trying to do is make it up and get good language with nothing internal behind it. That's bullshit. Yeah. Having a skill set, yeah, that's unique to you, and putting that into your insights to enable them to have the insights that they can get their life. Totally different model. But if you're just waking up one day, yeah, I'm fed up with doing this, I'm going to leave my job, I'm going to open a YouTube channel, get some good SEO, get some smart graphics, even to the point now with AI. I mean, soon, what do you need humans for? I mean, they got with Notebook or whatever, with Microsoft one, you can listen to an AI podcast. I mean, it's far in front of some of the human ones you listen to. So I think that, yes, I think it's changing. I think LinkedIn with AI is going to change it even more. That what you're reading now is not human content. You're reading ChatGPT with a few instructions from a human, which means the content's even getting more fake. And even worse, the ones that wrote the bullshit books 4 or 5 or 10 years ago, they're pulling from those books, repurposing that, giving it a modern day twist, putting it out in the marketplace. Now you've got the blind leading the blind. Wow. So I think what we'll see is in the next 2 or 3 years, we'll see some really good content, but it won't have any real world application.
Yeah.
It'll be AI human bullshit to get followers, so hopefully they get money. And I think the ones that are authentic and real, and dare I say it, know their shit, AI won't be able to compete. So if you're real and you hone in on your target market and you understand the pains and trials and tribulations, nothing wrong with ChatGPT or the like to organise your content. But give us your content. Don't give us the rinse and repeat, soiled bullshit that has had no success. Just because it's in a book don't mean it's real. Just if you read like certain books, I mean, like some might say Napoleon Hill. I mean, a book that most people would have read would be Dale Carnegie's How to Influence. How to Win Friends and Influence People? Okay. It's a classic. But how to win friends and influence people? Yeah, that influence bit is yeah. Do you want to influence them so they do what you want? And this is where I think the model's wrong. That too many people learn the skills of influence and persuasion for me to be successful, for them to be successful. Where in the influencer market, it's a totally flip round. It's nothing to do with the content provider. It has everything to do with the person that reads the content provider's content.
Wow.
So you're not trying to influence them to read your content, which I think people are trying to do, is you're trying to influence them so they write their own content, so they create their own success. It's nothing about you. And I think the more real you are with them, and the more you support them on their journey, not yours, then they become your follower. Why wouldn't they? Your car breaks down, who do you go to? The bloke you can trust. Yeah? If you got a good accountant, who do you go to? The woman, your accountant, you can trust. And it's the people you built the relationship with, they're male or female. If they've got the skill set, you want the expert. Experts get followed. The ones that pretend to be the expert, and I know we've gone over, so I'll leave it with this. In ancient Greeks, it was a custom to have a statue in your garden. I think this story is so, and I think I've said it on another podcast we've done. It was a custom to have a statue in your garden, one of the gods or one of your wife, whatever. And if you had a statue in your garden, it was the mark of pure success. So people could walk past and, never mind if you had a garden. Oh, you've got a statue. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Paul's doing really well. He's got 3 statues. Oh, yeah. But so stonemasons were making a fortune. But some stonemasons could reproduce statues or make statues within a couple of weeks. A good stonemason be a couple of months. But how long will it be? A couple of months. No, that's right. I'll go to John down the road. He reckons he can do it 2 weeks. How long, John? 2 weeks. Yeah, that's all right. You don't know what he's doing. 2 months. But the stonemasons that can produce them really quick, might have the odd cheekbone knocked off a little bit or the tip of the nose. What they found was they'd scrape the sandstone down or the granite and they'd get loads of little dusty bits. They'd get some wax. They'd mould it into a paste and they'd shape the cheekbone when they'd knocked it off a bit too much, or they'd shape the nose. Yeah, it'd be perfect. And they turn up, there you go. Oh, brilliant, John, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, and he's got it in my garden. Look at Lee's statue or Paul's statue, whatever, brilliant. Yeah, Mary's got 6. I don't know. She must have really paid a lot to get that job to do them. But within a month or so, or maybe a year or two, after the sun would bake down on them, the wax would melt and the imperfections would come. Well, nothing wrong with using ChatGPT, but it's a bit like a quick stonemason.
Wow.
Yeah. And people are in that illusion. I've got to produce content. I didn't put a LinkedIn post out last week, period, not one. I put out about the launch we got for the book this week. I put out about an event I've got coming up this week. And apart from share a few other people's and comment on a few other people, I have not done a LinkedIn post, I don't think, in 2 weeks. Because it's not something I need to do. When I've got something worth sharing, I'll share it. If I've got an event coming up, I'll let my followers or my connections know about it. If they want to come, they come. But I'm not here producing content like a quick fix stonemason. Yeah. I really think about what I'm putting out there. People get the idea of it. I put something up on Twitter. I put an article on Twitter the other day, which was an article I put up on LinkedIn. Yeah. So I think if you've got something worth saying that helps other people's lives, then yes. If you're not, I wouldn't bother. I'd waste time. Go and buy adverts.
There it is, Lee. Thank you ever so much for this amazing series. Love you to bits. Catch you this time next week. And bye for now.
Bye for now.